I think what we really wanted to do was recognize that, hey, the election of a new presidential administration, the change in the composition of our country's Congress is an important event, and historically that's had impact upon the financial markets. So let's turn that into an educational event. Let's talk about what makes this administration unique, what sort of policies has this administration put forth that may be relevant for the financial markets. And then let's try to assess what sort of actions we should take as investors going forward.
I came to this event because, it seems like a lot of the investment world is focused on U.S. politics right now, and what are the implications both within the U.S. and globally for all the policy decisions that we will make as a country over the next year and several years into the future. And I thought this was a very enlightening dialogue that was today, and I really felt like that we touched on a lot of different issues, whether it be infrastructure spending, whether it be the implications for tax cuts. And I think there was a lot of back and forth between, there was some thought that perhaps the markets have been a little bit euphoric and have priced in a bit too much, and that there will be a day of reckoning, so to speak, and that we may not get everything that we've hoped for. And there will be definitely some political pushback on a lot of things, for instance, the border tax, etc. So I think it was a very enlightening discussion, and again, it really shows just how much uncertainty there really is out there, and how important these types of topics are to the financial markets and to us as investors.
I think it was a great event. It brought in a lot of people from different perspectives. The host was very nice. Mr. Heberling did a good job keeping it in place. It was a lot of topics which had to be covered. And overall, I think it's an opportunity for people to really see that something new is in the making.
It's a great networking experience because I got to talk to other business professionals, and I'm a college student, so it's amazing just to talk to other business professionals.
So the reason why I came is because I saw that the event was a CFA Society, and eventually after college I want to get my CFA. And then I like the kind of topic of discussion that was here. Like, I like how we are actually discussing how Trump's policies and proposals do have an impact on the market, and how it's going to affect us as citizens and even people in the financial sector.
Oh, most certainly. It was a great panel. I felt like the questions from the audience were very thoughtful and led to further enlightenment within the audience and with the panel as well.
I didn't know what to expect, so it's like now it's an amazing opportunity, and yeah, it's an amazing opportunity.
Yes, definitely. It brings this conversation. Everybody is talking as to what the new thing is going to look like.
Absolutely. I think it stimulated a lot of discussion. I think the audience learned quite a bit about some of the new administration proposals and some of the new administration's advisors that I didn't know before, and I'm sure many of the other members of the audience didn't know before, so we were certainly educated. And then I found it very interesting that despite all this education and discussion around the current administration and the proposed policies, it seems as if the conclusion from the panel was, well, many of these policies may never come to fruition, but even if they do, that may not be what ultimately has the most impact upon financial markets. It may really be the economy, which seems as if it will be most impacted by inflation expectations and interest rates going forward.
What I think I learned more was more of the tax plan. You could hear about it on the news. I didn't do my research, but then how they, put the tax plan out, and it's like, wow, now I want to investigate more about the tax plan.
All the details around the Affordable Care Act and how Ryan Care may look versus Obamacare, as well as the expectations for tax decreases going forward, what the plan is, and what the market expects, and where we're likely to probably meet somewhere in the middle.
The new information is the perspective as to how different panelists are looking at it. People who are in the publication business, there is definitely a lot of discontent with Obamacare, but at the same time, it needs to be corrected. It is, I think, Donald Trump is bringing in the position that, hey, let's see what else could be done. Earlier, in my opinion, it was one-sided. Now we know ACA has to be improved on. It is not just that we have to have Ryan Care, but it brings two parties together to bring up something new.
Please make it to as many of these events as you can, because they're very enlightening and they will most certainly add to your knowledge base, and it's a great group of folks.
No,
To the next event.
I would definitely encourage coming to the next event. It's a great event, especially for educational opportunities and networking opportunities. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Start coming and joining these sessions. They are good. They're helpful to the group as a team and individually.
This event lived up to the expectations of quality that many of our events tend to achieve, and I would hope that would encourage CFAP members to participate in future events. We have, I think, 4 near-term events coming up. One's a happy hour in a couple of weeks downtown. The following evening, we have a commodities event, which should be very interesting, and that's the venue for that is Philadelphia University. We have a movie screening out in the suburbs in Bryn Mawr, which is a different type of event. One of our members was involved in the production of that film. And then finally, we have the annual conference, which is a big honor and a major event for our society.